Also doing an extremely good job. Because you've got to count these lanes when there's 10, isn't there? When you start with lane 0, you have to just get your head together on that. But Bronagh Ryan doing a really good job over the first 50, 33.4. So that's faster than what she did this morning. Now she's the top qualifier to the 112. New Zealand record 109.26.
So Bronagh Ryan, 22 years of age, from Porirua City Aquatics. She's in the centre of the pool. She has this slight advantage. Kiara Smith has dropped back in lane 2. The challenge is coming, if they're going to, from Reedy and from Ellie Eastwood, the youngster from United. But Bronagh Ryan is going to hang on and finish very strongly. She's a body length clear, and she touches the wall in 1:11.53, and that's a personal best for Bronagh Ryan, and she wins her second title at these championships.
It wasn't a matter of hanging on, was it? Because she clearly just went ahead, went further and further ahead, and looked strong and dominant right from the start, right through to the finish.
So Bronagh Ryan at 1:11.53. Ellie Eastwood was the one who surged towards the end. That's fine swim from her, the 15-year-old. She's had a good meeting so far. First in the 200 breaststroke and third in the 50, and Kiara Smith was in third place.
So we'll see Ryan here, very good start, under the water, the dolphin kick, and then up, and then into a stroke rate pretty quickly. She was the first definitely at the halfway stage, as she was straight off the blocks, and really, if anything, you can say that she led from the start to the finish. Doing a really nice job. She made the comment that she didn't think that she'd ever be in the sport this long, but loving it, absolutely loving it.
Just two swimmers from the Porirua club here, Natalie and Ben Walsh. They train together. As they said, one advantage is you don't have to struggle for pool time. Coach is always available. So next race then, a men's 100 breaststroke.
Wow, you excited about this one?
Absolutely. Snyder's New Zealand record 59.78, but not set here in New Zealand. Wanting to crack that 60-second barrier in the Owen Glenn Aquatic Centre. That'll be something. He set that record at the Olympics in London. So there's the lineup. I mentioned Ben Walsh from Porirua. He's in lane 1 there. So Jacob Garrett in 2, Matt Shedd, the British swimmer, is in 3, and Snyder's, Kunisberger, Schroeder, who finished well, and Leighton. Those three had a fantastic 200 breaststroke
Don't
battle.
discount Mario Kunisberger either in lane number 5 from the Howard Pakuranga Club. Interestingly, this could be Matt Shedd's last swim. He swims out of lane number 3. He's a medalist from the British Nationals in the 50 breaststroke, and I think he's probably going to retire after this swim. He was second in the 50 breaststroke.
Just looking there at Kunisberger, lane 5. Mentioned we get the third in the 50 breaststroke. Stepping up down now and being introduced to the crowd is Glenn Snyders. He's in lane 4.
And John, this could be the last time we actually see him swim in New Zealand, because I'm sure that he's going to retire after the Olympics. I don't want to preempt that, but this could be the last time. And you notice he's fully shaved down for this.
So Leighton in 7, Schroeder in 6, Kunisberger in 5, Snyders in 4, Shedd in 3, the ones likely to feature. Trelin and Arana Tuapanai in 8 and 9, but all eyes on Snyders. He qualified this morning in the heats with a 1:0.36. The crowd will be behind Glenn Snyders. They know that this may well be the last time we see him in action here in New Zealand, and they would love for him to go under 60 seconds. And he starts brilliantly. Alongside him, and a man who will shove him along, is Matt Shedd.
Absolutely. Matt Shedd had the better of the starts by a country mile over Glenn Snyders, but Glenn Snyders already out in front. The qualifying time, 1:00.57. We want to see about a 28 low over the first 50 metres, and we've got exactly that, 28.10. So he's on target to once again go under the qualifying time. What Glenn Snyders needs to do here now is hold it together over the last 15 metres, and this is how the race will pan out. He's going to win it, and he's going to win it well.
He's a full body length clear with 20 metres to go. His national record is 59.78. The Olympic qualifying standard is 1:0.57. He's gone under it. Can he go under the 60 seconds? Come on, hang on to this. Go for it, Glenn. In he goes, touches. Oh, 1:00.08. Oh, and he bangs the water. Look at that. He is so frustrated that he couldn't crack the 60 seconds. He was going for the New Zealand record, I'm sure. And you might go back to that start, but whoa, gosh.
But John, you know, let's give credit to. He's
Yes.
gone under the qualifying time. He's improved his heat swim this morning, so he's stepped up. And that's something that we've actually made a comment about him, is that he hasn't been stepping up from the heats to the finals. And, you know, if this is our last swim that we'll ever see in New Zealand from Glenn Snyders, let's give him praise for actually doing the qualifying time in it and recognise the ambassador that he has been.
Look at those times too coming in from the likes of Kunisberger, Schroeder, Garrett. So that's the next crew.
John, and also that is a New Zealand age group record for Kukenberger for the 18 years, the young swimmer from the Howick Pakuranga Club. But you saw there, Shed was just outstanding on the start. Led Snyders off the blocks. Snyders beautiful into the first 50 metres. Under the water here, the dolphin kick, the big pull out, and then just tied up a little bit in the end there, just needed a little bit more momentum. And he's frustrated that he didn't go under the 1 minute mark.
Well, he's there with
Ian
Ian Jones. He's smiling now. He did wave to the crowd. His family and friends are around, and gosh, they've been here for the last dozen years watching Glenn Snyders emerge from a youngster with talent to now this champion. He's with Ian Jones.
Thanks very much, John. Well, Glenn, it's always a pleasure to see you back here in New Zealand. I know you spent a lot of time up in the States training, but gee, when you come back here, you always perform, and once more, you're off to the Olympics, you're third.
Yeah, I'm just absolutely wrapped, and you know, my goal was to do it this morning, kind of take a little bit of pressure off, and I did that. And tonight, just wanted to see if I could back it up and go faster, and I was happy with that time.
Look, you have some experience. There's some young athletes coming through that are just gaining the experience you are, but gee, you're so proud, aren't you, to represent this country?
Yeah, very proud. You know, it's been a long time, you know, almost 11, 12 years, and just to be making my third Olympics, you know, just joining an elite crew who have only a few have done that, and you know, I'm just proud to represent New Zealand.
And Glenn, all these people up here in the stands are very proud to see you race, and we hope it's not the last time you're going to race back in this pool.
Yeah, I mean, about that, I don't know. That might have been the last ever swim I do in New Zealand. I don't know. We'll see what happens after Rio.
Well, I'm going to give a little plug for the North Shore Swim Club Swim Fest, and you're always invited to come to our club champs, mate.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Wow, fantastic. But look at the frustration. He really wanted to go out with something special here tonight. He wanted to go under the 60 seconds here in New Zealand and maybe beat that New Zealand record. But he has done what he set out to do, and it's achieve qualifying time. We're going to a break very soon, but let's meet one of our star para swimmers who'll undoubtedly make an impact in Rio, Mary Fisher.
I'm Mary Fisher. I'm from Wellington, but I'm currently living in Auckland. I'm just training here at Millennium for Rio Paralympic Games. It's been good moving up from Wellington in terms of the consistency I can get with training. Before, I was kind of having to come up to Auckland and back, and it was quite difficult, especially because transport is a little bit trickier for me. Some of the greatest moments in my swimming today would definitely been going away with teams, or when you make a time you've been working towards for so long and you go under the time, and you know, the kind of consequences that will happen for that in terms of experiences and in terms of being able to share that with people and say thank you to the massive network that has got you there. So that's definitely one of the highs, and just the feeling of, very cliche feeling of freedom and being able to move how you want. And for me as a blind person, being able to do something completely independently, you know, hitting the lane ropes a bit, but there's no one guiding you. You don't have to be attached by a rope or anything like that. Essentially, the only thing I do differently from a sighted swimmer is I have this person hit me on the head just before the end of the pool, so they stand on the wall and tap me so I know the end is coming. And you have to have a really good, trusting relationship with that person, that they'll do that every single time and be consistent in where they do it, otherwise my turn is going to be messed up. Apart from that, I just follow the lane rope with my fingertips, and I have to swim a very internally driven race because I can't see any of my competitors. I guess the 4-year cycle can be quite a long time, and it's difficult to maintain motivation when you've done well in London, so I've struggled with that a little bit. But seeing the younger guys come up and performing so well, that's been a real motivation, as well as just, you know, wanting to see what my body can do in terms of swimming in the water.
The women's 200 metres individual medley, and we have Danielle Schulte, who is in lane 4 and the world record holder at the moment. She is really fighting against Mary Fisher, who's got the lead here. The split times we see at 100, 1:18.98, she's in the lead, and just look at them go. Both of them absolutely fighting desperately here for the gold medal. Coming home in a world record time, 2:46.91, is Mary Fisher of New Zealand.
Well, when I got to represent New Zealand in London, it was a 10-year dream essentially coming true from this 9-year-old kid who was pretty shy, grew up in Upper Hutt and quite small town, small swimming club mentality, and then just sticking with a sport that I definitely wasn't naturally talented at, but just enjoyed the feeling of being in the water and the friends and things I managed to meet. And then going as a 19-year-old to represent New Zealand, you've got this uniform and all this history behind you, which is really special, and you get to go away with this amazing group of people who've worked so hard to get themselves to that point, but also knowing that you've got this whole, massive network of people behind you pushing you along.
I think it's in every coach's toolbox to be basically a manager, you might say, that manages that time not only in the pool but away from the pool, to make sure that balance is there. The study, it's about life balances, because usually the performance in the pool relates or reflects on what's happening out of the pool. She is a special lady, special person, and it's great to be associated with her and obviously everyone else involved in Paralympics New Zealand swim team.
We're back here at the Owen Glen Aquatic Centre, where we've had a very good first few races with 2 qualifying standards and also a world record. World record, if you didn't see it, set by Sophie Pascoe in the 100 metres butterfly. Qualifying times to Matthew Stanley and the Glenn Snyders. As we move on now to the first of our butterfly races, the women's 50 metres butterfly is first up the final.
John, interesting. Just jumping back to Glenn, though, you know, you look at athletes, it doesn't matter what sport they belong to, but every athlete aspires to go to the Olympics. Glenn Snyder's off to his 3rd Olympics. Amazing, as is Lauren Boyle. That's a huge, huge accolade, isn't it?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And it's not as if they've got into an Olympic team and felt that that was their big achievement. They've always strived to do their very best.
Well, both of them are so decorated on the international scene, winning medals at a World Championships.
Helena Gasson will also be at the Olympics. This will be her first time, though. She has already qualified in the 100 butterfly, showed tremendous mental toughness to fight back from a disappointment on the opening day. So she stands in now in the 50 metres fly. This is not an Olympic event. There's the start list for you. Samantha Lee, who beat her in the 200, is there in lane 3. On the other side of her will be Laura Quilter starting in lane 5.
You know, you'd have to look at Helena Gasson there as potentially the New Zealand record at 26.30. But this is in lane number 5, Laura Quilter.
She's 3rd in the 200. And 2nd in the 50 free, Laura Quilter. Who's looking at us here is Olivia Clare from Pukekohe in lane 9, and lane 8, Jenna Buchanan. Alongside her, that's Gina Galloway of United as they take their blocks now. Gasson swam a 26.83 this morning. 50 fly final.
So 26.30, the New Zealand record. Keep an eye on that.
Right, well, Sophia Batchelor set that in 2013 from stunning young swimmer she was too. And now we're watching this as they cut through the 25.
Oh,
and in lane 5, it's Laura Quilter. Laura Quilter in lane 5 and Helena Gasson in lane 4. Look at Samantha Lee also in 3, but it's going to be lane 4. Helena Gasson, can she hang on? Laura Quilter and Gasson, they touch together, and the call goes the way of Helena Gasson and 26.62.
Well, an amazing start by Quilter. She just blitzed it off the blocks and into the first 20-odd metres, and she was still there, to be fair, at 45 metres. Just at the very end, there was nothing separated them, but it was an outstanding last little finish by Helena Gasson. She obviously doesn't have real brutal speed, but boy, is she good over the 100 and the 200. But it was definitely Laura Quilter that had that amazing start, and she was right there on the finish as well. Notice she just lifted her head driving into the wall, and that probably cost her a little bit in the underwater. You've got to keep that head down and streamline. She's looking up at that scoreboard.
Yes.
Wow, did I win?
So the big advantages of electronic start timing come into play there, because for the naked eye you would not have been able to pick at full speed who won that. And it has gone the way of Helena Gasson from Laura Quilter and Samantha Lee as we move to the women's B final. And swimming in lane 4 is one of our visitors here from Fiji. This is Matalita Mbundromo.
And a young 13-year-old in lane number 6, and Alice Waldrow. That's an outstanding achievement to make the B final at only 13 years of age.
B final underway. In lane 4, that's Mbundromo who gets the best of the starts. She hasn't got it all her own way, though, because alongside her is Summer Milne, 15 years of age from United. She looks up and takes the breath and now head down and goes again, but Mbundromo has got it at the moment. Leah Eagleton over on the far side from Howard Pakuranga looking strong, and down here also is Steedman, but to the wall goes the Fijian visitor, Mbundromo, and she wins it in 28.95 from McTeague, I think, Victoria McTeague in 3. She gets second, and in 3rd place it's Caitlin Steedman. So Mbundromo over here is one of the visitors. We've got swimmers from Samoa and Indonesia as well here, and she's impressed with what we've seen of her. She She has not been to the Commonwealth Games or Olympics before, but she is someone that they're putting their hopes on to probably look at cleaner B times in some of the other events.
Yeah, she's got good form. She was a little bit slow under the water there. Just the dolphin kicks, or what we call the drives off the under the water, just wasn't fast enough to get the acceleration going forward. But nice form once she got up into the actual swim.
Okay, are you excited about this one?
Yes, I am.
You're excited about every race, Mark.
Yeah,
I know
look,
that.
of course, this is national championships. You win a national title, and we've got a young swimmer in lane number 4, Daniel Hunter, so close in the 50 freestyle to qualifying. He's already won the 50 backstroke and the 50 freestyle. Can he make it 3 in a row?
Nielsen Varroy there in shot. We've got Nielsen Varroy in lane 5 from Parnell. He's the title holder. He was second in the 50 freestyle.
Orinoco Fahamasili Bonds Prince. Boy, he's there too, an Olympian in 2008.
Here's the starting lineup. Tasker, Asplin, Benson. Now, I think that's Paul Benson,
Yes, it is
not
Paul
Joshua
Benson.
Benson.
Yep.
Paul Benson in lane 2.
Lanes 4 and 5, Daniel Hunter, Nielsen Varroy, they must be eyeballing each other. They're both over 2 metres tall.
Yeah.
They're huge. They are absolutely huge. They're the 2 tallest swimmers in New Zealand swimming. And here is Orinoco.
He went to the Olympics in Beijing in 2008.
Part of our 4x100 free relay team. Held the New Zealand record for a long time in the 100 free as well.
Kwame Swanepoel holds the New Zealand record. He set it in 2009, 23.40. Hunter has been in impressive form in the freestyle, but he's a very swift fly swimmer as well.
Nielsen Varroy, yeah, doing really good job. He's extremely explosive off the blocks, but he'll probably tie up as we see Hunter coming through now.
So Hunter takes the lead. Hunter goes to the wall just ahead of, out on the outside. Was that Paul Benson? Hunter gets it. Benson is second, and in third place, Nielsen Varroy. He looks so much more relaxed. There's Varroy, who was second. He is the title holder, but beaten this time by this young man, 21 years of age, Daniel Hunter, who's won the backstroke and the freestyle in a New Zealand record over the 50 metres, and now he wins the butterfly in 24 flat. Benson second, Varroy third.
So 3 national titles. It was definitely Varroy that was first off the blocks and then up into a stroke rate, led us through the first 15, 20 metres, always ties up a little bit. Benson finishing so strong in lane number 2. Lane number 2 to get the second, but a very happy third national title for Daniel Hunter.
Still to come tonight, we have a B final for this in the Para 150 individual medley, the women's backstroke, A and B finals, men's backstroke 100 finals. We end up with the women's 1500 free. As we look at the man in lane 4, this is Dan Caldwell of St Peter's in the Waikato. At the national age groups last year, he won the 17 to 18 years 100 free, was second in the 50 breaststroke and 50 free. So he's now at 18 years of age. He'll start in lane 4. Down here we can see Jim Nissen of Hiratonga Sun Devils. So Shibuya, 14 years of age, is in lane 8, and Tyrone Henry, 14 years of age, in lane 0 as they go. This is the B final for the men's 50 metres fly, and they've cut out the first 25.
Well, Dan Caldwell in lane number 4 from St Peter's in Cambridge is taking this race. He's slightly out in front, but here comes from the Whoronui Club, William Campbell.
Who finishes better? Who finishes better?
Oh,
Maybe Campbell. And Campbell does get it from Whoronui, from the Mako Zonal team earlier this year. 20 years of age from Whoronui. There he is. He's always looked relaxed on poolside, and now he'll be even more relaxed as he wins this in 25.87. Tane Johnson was second, from Coast, and Dan Caldwell, the early leader from St Peters, in third place.
Yeah, well, it was a really good finish by Campbell. Caldwell looked as if he had it all turned up. He's pretty delighted about it too, isn't he? As you said, he's pretty relaxed.
Yep, he is indeed. Well, I've got another good crowd here. This new pool, and we'll talk a bit about the pool and how good it is and how much the swimmers think about it and appreciate it during the 1500 later in the evening. Glenn Snyder's now nice and relaxed, having qualified for the 100 metres breaststroke. So the music starts as we watch for Cameron Leslie to come out. There he is. We can just see him in lane 4.
Holds the world record in this event, the 150 IM and the S5 category.
Yeah, he is.
That world record is 225.98. So when we look at categories, John, we were talking about this with athletes with disabilities. So we have S1 to 10. I got clarification on that, and that is physical disability. So S1 to 10 is physical disability, S11 to 13 a visual disability, and S14 is an intellectual disability.
Well, they also have different classification here for individual strokes, one for breaststroke and one for medley. So he's an SM4, and the SM4 Paralympic qualifying time is 2 minutes 51.3. Now, just to give you an indication of how good he is, he went 20 seconds underneath that. So he's well capable. So this is good, and I do hope the crowd responds to this, because he is a previous Paralympic gold medalist. He's a world record holder over this, coached by Simon Main. He went to the World Cup and the World Championships in 09, the World Championships in 13, the World Championships in 2015, a multiple gold medalist and multiple medalist as well, and a world record holder as well.
He was probably the foremost swimmer to emerge as well in terms of the para-athletes, and he's just helped the sport immensely. He holds huge mana by the rest of the para team.
And he's a journalist as well. He certainly makes his point well known when he gets the opportunity. Nice turn from him too at the 50. This is the 150 individual medley.
Well, he writes very fluently. He's a very good journalist. Very forthright. But
yeah, absolutely.
And I respect that immensely.
Yeah. And he did have a crack at wheelchair rugby. The crowd, this is great. They're getting him behind Cameron Leslie. He's been a superstar of para sport over the years.
So what he's trying to do here, because he has such limitation out of his arms and his legs, he's trying to get as much dolphin action as he possibly can. And you'll see that by the hips coming up and down as much as they are. So what we're trying to get is that butterfly type routine going and the acceleration through the hips. Gosh, the timing of this is so hard for him because he's getting nothing out of those arms, and it's all out of the hips.
To the wall, and how exhausting this must be for Leslie, but he touches at 144, turns now into the freestyle. Remember that qualifying time is 2:51, so he's got about a minute to get back almost, so this is going to be another great swim from Cameron Leslie.
And John, in the freestyle, he's having to have to do it all through the upper body because, again, through the legs, well, he's got no legs, but the rest of his body at the back is just sinking. So you see that he keeps the stroke rate going as high as he possibly can to try and maintain his forward momentum. And then you've got to look at the fact that he doesn't have any limb length under his body out of those arms. So, you know, gosh, it's just an amazing feat. 225.98 is the world record. He's not going to do that tonight.
227, 228 underneath the qualifying standard by 21 seconds. 2 minutes 30 for one of our outstanding sportsmen,